busy when you're hurt than when you're coming in and all you do is, scout film and come out here and walk through things. So, I'm in here hours and hours on hours trying to.
2 minutes. That's all it took for Caitlin Clark to change everything. With the Indiana Fever locked in a gritty battle against the Atlanta Dream, it looked like this would be another night of grinding possession-by-possession basketball. But then, in what felt like a flash, Caitlin Clark took control. And not just of the ball or the scoreboard, but the entire rhythm of the game. In just 2 minutes, she dismantled the Dream's confidence, unraveled their composure, and sparked a shift in momentum so powerful, it sent a warning shot to the rest of the WNBA. The final score? A dominant 99-82 win for the Fever. But the numbers only tell a fraction of the story, because what unfolded in the second half wasn't just about points. It was about presence. It was about a rookie guard outsmarting veterans, locking up elite scorers, and orchestrating her team with a poise well beyond her years. It was about Caitlin Clark turning a close contest into a landslide without needing to drop 30. To understand just how dramatic the shift was, rewind to the first half. The Atlanta Dream looked like they were on a mission. Jordan Canada was everywhere, draining threes, slicing to the defense, and racking up 26 points before halftime. She couldn't miss, and Indiana had no answer. Meanwhile, Brittney Griner and Brianna Jones were bullying the paint, forcing the Fever into early foul trouble and imposing their size with calculated confidence. The Dream looked poised to run away with it. But everything changed when Caitlin Clark took the challenge personally. No more switching off defensive assignments. No more sitting back. Clark locked onto Canada, face guarding her, fighting over screens and turning off the faucet. Jordan Canada, who had torched Indiana in the first half, managed just 4 points the rest of the game. She went quiet, completely, and that wasn't a coaching adjustment. That wasn't a defensive scheme. That was Caitlin Clark putting the clamps on and refusing to give up space. Her lateral quickness, anticipation, and on-ball effort shattered Canada's rhythm. What was once a scoring spree turned into silence. But Clark didn't stop at defense. She activated the entire team. You could feel the energy shift as she barked out assignments, pushed the pace, and communicated relentlessly on every possession. The defense tightened. The rotations were crisp. Suddenly, what had been a disorganized, sluggish Fever squad was flying around the court, contesting every shot, closing out hard and boxing out with intention. And Clark was in the middle of it all, notching a staggering plus 21 in the second half alone. Offensively, she was even more surgical. Not flashy, not reckless, but masterful. With the Dream throwing traps, doubles, and aggressive closeouts away, Clark calmly dissected the chaos. 9 official assists don't begin to tell the story. Several of her passes led directly to free throws, to open threes, to backdoor cuts and momentum-killing buckets. She found Aaliyah Boston in the pocket for easy trips to the line. She hit Sophie Cunningham in rhythm over and over, 4 times, to be exact, for wide-open triples. She stretched the defense, manipulated spacing, and made the Dream size a non-factor. The most telling part? Clark didn't even shoot well. 5 of 17 from the field, 1 of 7 from deep, but it didn't matter because her fingerprints were on every possession. She ran the pick and roll like a seasoned vet, controlled the tempo, and forced Atlanta to guard every inch of the floor. When she pushed the ball off her bounds, Atlanta's bigs like Griner couldn't get back fast enough. When she slowed it down, she exploited every mismatch with surgical passes. And yes, the shooting slump is real. She's not fully healthy, still battling through quad and groin injuries. But she didn't let that slow her down. She leaned into the physicality, put her head down, got to the basket, and made Atlanta pay with smart decisions. It wasn't about highlight plays. It was about composure. She let the game come to her, and in doing so, she elevated everyone around her. Sophie Cunningham had a monster night with 16-point, 10-rebound double-double, largely due to the gravity Clark created. Aaliyah Boston regained her all-star form. Even Kelsey Mitchell found space to cook, all because Clark was the orchestrator. And for a team that had struggled to find offensive of identity. This was a revelation. Meanwhile, the Dream were falling apart. Griner, once a towering presence, became invisible. She couldn't keep up with the pace. Indiana's transition attack, fueled by Clark's relentless push, kept her out of position. Brianna Jones found herself in foul trouble, unable to recover on time. The Dream's front court, once a strength, turned into a liability. But the most fascinating part of the story wasn't just what Clark did to the Dream. It's what she exposed. The game plan Atlanta brought into this matchup was outdated. They expected to control the paint, slow the pace, and punish the Fever inside. But Clark flipped that script. She didn't attack Griner head-on. She pulled her away from the basket. She used misdirection and timing to render her ineffective. She didn't need to score over her. She just needed to force her to move. And move she did, late, often, and out of rhythm. At one point in the third, Clark called for a pick and roll with Boston, baited the defense with drive, then kicked it to Dantas for a dagger three. Moments later, she orchestrated another two-man action with Boston that looked like a Stockton to Malone clinic. It was deliberate, efficient, and ruthless, and the Dream had no answer. What makes this performance so special is that it defies the box score. Critics will point to 12 points and scoff. But basketball isn't just about points. It's about control. And Caitlin Clark controlled everything. The ball, the tempo, the defense, and the mindset of the opposing team. She's playing chess while others are playing checkers. And in this game, she put Atlanta in checkmate. The Fever scored 59 points in the second half. That doesn't happen in the WNBA. Not without someone orchestrating behind the scenes. Not without someone pushing the buttons. That someone was number 22. Caitlin Clark. When she had the ball, the offense flowed. When she didn't, she bent the defense with movement and gravity. And when the Dream finally collapsed under pressure, it was too late. This wasn't just a win. It was a message to the Dream, to the league, to the doubters. Caitlin Clark is still finding her shot, still healing from injuries, still adjusting to a league that hasn't always welcomed her. And yet, she's already shifting the balance of power. With her mind, her hustle, and her ability to elevate those around her, she's become the most dangerous player on the floor, even when the threes aren't falling. For Atlanta, this was supposed to be a statement game. With stars like Jordan Canada and Brittney Griner, they came in expecting to dominate. But instead, they walked off the court confused, broken, and exposed. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just beat them. She dismantled them, systematically, decisively, and with style. So yes, Caitlin Clark finished with 12 points and 9 assists. But if you watch the game, you know she was the engine, the architect, the assassin. She didn't need a 40-point game to dominate. She made her presence felt in every possession on both ends in ways that stats can't always capture. And she did it with the heart of a warrior and the mind of a master. If you're still doubting what she brings to the table, you're not watching closely enough. Because this rookie isn't waiting for the league to hand her the keys. She's already taken them. And when she drives, the whole team goes with her. So if you believe it's time for the Fever to let Caitlin Clark take over full time, drop 100% in the comments. What impressed you the most in this game? Her defense, her passing, her leadership. Do you think she's already the most impactful player in the league, even in a shooting slump? Let us know. Then hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next in the Caitlin Clark era. Because this isn't just a story, it's a takeover in real time.